going to go right into a presentation by Joe Piccarelli of BGE. Ron's going to put up Joe's slides here in just a minute, and he's going to give us an overview of what BGE can offer in terms of help with home charging equipment, and he's got all the information, and he's got a really cool title. He's with Utilities of the Future. So over to you, Joe.
Thanks, Elvia, and thank you for that great introduction. Joe Piccarelli here, Engineering Support for Utility of the Future. It is a pretty cool title. So first of all, I want to thank Elvia and the Annapolis Green team for putting this event together. We got to, my coworker Kylie and I got to meet some of you at yesterday's event in Annapolis. That was really neat. It's been a cool event the whole week, so it's just great to celebrate this sort of initiative and some of the work that Elvia is doing. So thank you for that. I'm just going to spend a few minutes going through some slides here, just talking about our program. So we can go to the first slide here. So we were given permission by a Public Service Commission to kick off a couple programs last year, July of last year. And the whole goal of these programs is to help encourage EV adoption with the hopes of meeting this ZEV goal, the state goal of 300,000 EVs on the road by 2025. So, we have a couple different programs which I'll talk about, and it's just really trying to help folks feel comfortable switching to an EV, knowing that there is electrical infrastructure there to support the charging they need, regardless of their living situation or regardless of how they drive their vehicle throughout the day. We can go to the next slide. So our three main programs, which make up our EV Smart overarching program, we have a residential charger rebate program. So we were allowed to give out 1,000 rebates of $300 each for eligible level 2 smart chargers. And if you would like to know which chargers are eligible, you can go to bge.com/electric vehicles. We have a whole bunch of really cool stuff on there, but that's where you can find all the different charger types that are eligible for our rebates. And you can combine our rebates with state and federal rebates as well. And you can essentially almost install a charger at your home for free when it's all said and done. So you should definitely check that out. We also have a multi-unit dwelling charger rebate. And this is specifically for folks that don't have necessarily like a parking spot or a garage in front of their home and can't install their own charger at their home behind their meter. This is for like an apartment building or an HOA or somewhere where they're sharing parking spaces. If that homeowners association or building wants to purchase and install chargers that can be shared, we will rebate on those as well. And the rebate numbers are higher because these units are generally more expensive, but it's up to 50% of the cost of purchase and installation and up to $25,000 per site. So if you live in one of these types of condominiums or something, and you should definitely talk to other folks in the building and see if they're interested in having EV charging, and we can help pay for that. And then our final program is our public charging network program. So you saw from the Michael E. Bush Library, which is an installation that we're very proud of because it really turned out nice. It's a beautiful library, really fits in well there. We're installing 500 chargers, a combination of level 2 and DC fast chargers throughout the service territory, and we'll be doing that over the next few years. And the chargers have to be installed on state, county, or local government property and have to be made available to the public 24/7. So those are kind of the rules to our program. Go to the next slide. Just a little bit of update on the progress where we are to date. So we have 65 chargers energized throughout our service territory of the 500 that we'll be installing. We have 220 of them cited, so spoken for, and they're in some part of this process, this installation process. We have a couple spots in Annapolis, and we're excited to be moving forward on a few more. Gott's Garage is one that we're moving forward on, the Whitmore Garage, and a couple other sites that are in the works. We have applications submitted for 39 multi-unit dwelling chargers, and then there's 423 of the 1,000 rebates that we have received applications for. Just a quick update on our programs. Okay. So here's kind of a slide that just talks a little bit about some of the rate options we have. So we have a residential EV only time of use rate, which we're very excited about. So we had previously had an EV, or I'm sorry, a time of use rate that wasn't only for your electric vehicles. So that was great if you didn't have folks living at home and you could adjust your behavior so that you weren't paying an on-peak price for energy use throughout your home during the day. Now we have an EV only rate where your whole home energy use stays on your normal electric rate. And then you're just charging on-peak or off-peak rate for your electric vehicle charging. And we measure that through the metrology in the charger. So this is really the main reason why we want to rebate chargers. So we can offer things like this rate, which allow us to shift demand to evening times when there isn't as much demand, kind of shifting all of the electric vehicle load to at night. And that allows us to take on a large influx of electric vehicles without having to build new transformers and new power lines, which would cost customers over time. So our whole goal here is to try to shift load and to try to offset the additional load by just having folks charge at night. So we also have a commercial demand charge credit. So for multi-unit dwellings and for fleets and workplaces, we can help with the high demand charge costs you see when you install DC fast charging. We also have our public charging rate. So if you charge on our public chargers, it's 18 cents a kilowatt hour for our level 2 charging, and then 34 cents kilowatt hour for our DC fast charging. Then our final rate here is a fleet rate, which we offer to customers that have 5 or more EVs registered in Maryland. And if you do, you can sign up for our fleet rate. You get a 25% discount on our DC fast chargers, just to try to incentivize fleets to go green as well. Okay. This page, this slide really shows our online tools. So if you go to bge.com/electric vehicles, you'll see we have a lot of calculators that help you decide what EV is best for you, help you understand how much you'll save by switching to an EV, what incentives exist right now, what types of EVs are out there. You can compare the vehicle you have to the EV you're interested in, and you can learn a lot about realistic savings options. So you should all check that out as well. And then the last slide is just an image of our public charging map. On the right, you can see is one of our DC fast chargers. And we also have different types of DC fast chargers as well. And then the map shows where we have either installed chargers or have some in the pipeline. We hope to have many more sites over the next year and change as we roll out the rest of the program. As you can see, there's some areas that we haven't installed any yet, like Baltimore City and Baltimore County. In those jurisdictions, it took a little longer to get our MOU in place and to get some of the license agreements, things like that in place. But now we do have them in place, and we do have chargers that are at one point or another in the process there as well. So we are, we'll be filling this map in over the next few years as we install this charging network that allows folks to feel comfortable knowing they can own an EV and they don't have to worry about ever having a dead battery while they're out and about. So there's a brief overview of our programs. I thought I saw some questions come up, but I didn't really get a chance to read them. Guess I could click on them now. Elvia, do I have a minute for questions?
Yeah, real quick. Sure.
Okay.
I see one. Yeah. Does your EV charging rate apply to those who are with solar net metering?
Our time of use rate cannot be combined at the moment with solar net metering, but that is a change in our IT system that is on schedule for, I believe it's for next year. So something we are actively working on, but at the moment, unfortunately not.
Another question is, how many multifamily rebate offers are available in 2020 and 2021?
I believe we've paid out 8 maybe of the 700, so plenty out there. plenty available. Okay. And if anybody else has questions, reach out to Elvia, get my email address, and please reach out to me, and I'll be glad to talk to you about our programs.
Joe, you want to put your contact information in the chat?
That's a great idea. I'll do that.
All right. And thank you very much, Joe.